we have a hard time to say good morning, which is God says, come to me first. I think this is a good word to listen. Remember when we get to fall and winter and we start to be cranky and crappy and all those kind of way of feeling whining, this is a good word to listen again. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened. Because one of the reasons we feel that way, it's because we labor so much or we work so much and we are burdened. We are burdened. And especially the winter and the harshness of the winter takes a toll in our place. You need to wake up in the morning to come here, and you find the church is cold. It doesn't make it easy. Priest doesn't open the church, doesn't make it easy. So when there everything that bothers, because when the love is running out. Okay, if anything bothers in your heart, it means love of God is running out. If the love is there, nothing bothers. You know that if you in your marital relationship, husband and wife, what happened? Oh honey, I love you. Even if you do anything wrong, don't worry, I forgive you. But not with God. We get upset with God. Why? Because we run out love for God. And the same thing. So it actually conveys that message. That's why Jesus says, if anything bothers you, we are running out of God's love. Running out of God's love. Because there is no, people don't complain or people don't gossip and put the rumors out if they have full of God's love. See, when we do harmful thing or do bad things, it's because you have lack of, or we have lack of God's love. And that's what he says, come to me. He's saying, I know you got a problem. Come to me. He said, you got a problem. I know. That's why he says in the first letter, no? Blessed are, says that, behold, the Lord come to save his people. He didn't tell, I'm going to punish you. You mean people. No, he didn't say that. He said, come to me. I'm going to save you. I'm going to heal you. I'm going to comfort you. This is what God's word says. But we cannot hear that. When I'm upset, when I'm mad, when I'm angry, I do not understand God's words as compassionate. I do not understand God's words as loving. I do not understand God's words as gentle. Because if you ask people, when you read the Bible, you hear the Bible, what they say, oh, I cannot understand. It's too difficult. If in itself, it shows that I need God's love. Really the power of God. Yesterday I was in the office and I was looking, there's this lady talking to Margaret. I was just over here. She said she came to one day in the church and she heard that story that I was talking and I didn't know what it was. She was trying to say the name and she was so interested because she didn't know this book or the Bible. So she went to get a Bible. She bought a big Bible and she started to read. And she said, she can't understand a word, she says. So finally, she came back again to get the children's Bible. So that's what I found her. And it's amazing to see that, this is what I see in the parish here. There are people who are not Catholic coming back to faith, but who are people who are faith here, keepers of faith, losing faith. And this God has predicted this many times. Pharisees and Sadducees and prostitutes and sinners will come back. The last will be first and the first will be last. Okay? These people who have no faith coming back to church read the Holy Bible. But people who have faith, they kept reading, losing faith. So the prediction of Jesus is coming true in many ways. We had to watch what God is saying. He says, come to me. If I'm not come to me, Jesus also says, no one can come to me unless my Father draws me closer. It doesn't matter whatever you do. No one can come to me unless my Father draws me closer. So it is not the one person, it is not one word, it's not one rule that is going to get away. Because if God is not calling us, we cannot come to him. And that's why it brings the same issues here, There is a word and the power. The power can bring healing, but only if I'm able to subject to that power. And that's why the humility is needed. It says, for I'm meek and humble of heart. Because if I don't learn from Jesus, he said, you will find rest for yourself. For my yoke is easy and my burden light. If I'm carrying somebody else's burden, that is why we are mad, angry. Okay, if I'm carrying the burden of Jesus Christ and the yoke of Jesus Christ, it's much easier. That's why he said, learn from me. He doesn't say, he said, learn from me. And that's a big word. He didn't say learn from Father Richo. He won't do that. But learn from me. You know, that is the key word. He said, learn from Jesus Christ. Don't learn from Bishop Coyne. Don't learn from Pope Francis. He said, learn from me. All right? We all have our own fault. We all have priorities. We didn't tell follow me. He said, follow Jesus Christ. See, I tell them many times when I go to the parishes, you know, because one priest goes, oh, I love that priest. No, you don't. You love who? Jesus Christ. It's good that you love the priest, but you have to love who more? Jesus Christ. Because otherwise the priest leaves, what happens? I'm not going to church anymore. It happened to so many parishioners. Okay, so many parishioners stopped going to church because the priest stopped going. Priest moved out. And it shows how much faith we got. Our faith is in the priest or humans or in God. And this is what the exile Jesus says, come to me. We need to learn to come to Jesus, not to the human. He says, trust not human, but God. See, that is how we can come close. We got to ask ourselves today, you know, and say, are we going to Jesus or are we going to people for my comfort and consolation? If my comfort and rest is in people, I will be constantly disturbed and constantly troubled. But if my comfort is in Jesus, I always keep that peace. And Jesus says, I am the Prince of Peace.